Hi, I'm here today to talk about an experience that came up towards the end of last week and what I've learnt so far from it. I feel like there'll be more to come because it was quite a big, unexpected change of circumstance. So right now today I'm out for a walk and it's a dry spell in between the showers. The UK summer that's been very unpredictable at the moment. We're getting thunderstorms, wind and then lovely sunny spells. So I'm at one of my favourite places having a nature walk. I can see a butterfly over there. I'm listening to the birds singing. There's some lovely trees and wildflowers. There's a guy off cutting the grass. I'm hoping he doesn't come down here. Just been down at the lake watching some swans, geese, baby ducks. I love ducks. And just sitting and taking it all in, being aware of the clouds, always changing their shapes, just as life is always changing. I was aware of the sound and the movement of the water, watching a beautiful cygnet trying to move its way through the water. It hasn't quite got the hang of moving its feet with grace yet. Very much like life, when the currents change, sometimes it knocks our feet a little bit, and that was very much what happened last week. It was one of those situations where my feet, my base got a little bit wobbly. My daughter's definitely did, and when those times happen, it was just a situation I could do nothing about. My daughter wanted me to try and fix it for her, and of course as a parent that's exactly what you want to do, and I just had this knowing that it was completely out of my hands. It was to do with her friendships and a parent of one of her friends that had become very difficult, and I knew that I was going to have to go and have a conversation with her, which is way out of my comfort zone. So I had to work through some anxiety to deal with that, which there had been times in the past when I would have completely avoided it. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be warrior mum for my daughter. I kind of wanted to prove to myself that I could deal with it. So it was a case of managing the anxiety, asking somebody outside of my family unit for some support because it had a huge impact on my daughter. And I didn't know how to deal with it at that point because I was too emotionally enmeshed in it. There was a lot of questions that came up for me on how had this happened? Was I to blame somehow? There was lots of mum guilt that came up. So I also got triggered with things from my past that I recognised once I was able to kind of sit with it and reflect on it from a detached place rather than kind of be in the fear of it, which there was huge amounts of fear because of A, what happened, and B, the emotional response in my daughter. And when I was able to take a step back from it and look at the whole situation, I recognised that the thoughts I was having around it and the triggers from my background were impacting and making it seem even worse than it was. And it was quite challenging because of the things that were said. But having a detachment from the emotional response and having awareness, hello B, having awareness of what was coming up within me allowed me to see the story that was playing out and listen to the narrative within me, and almost instantly there was this knowing of this is a phase and it will pass, as all things in life do. But that was kind of the instant rebound that becomes more familiar the more I have practiced mindfulness, and the self-awareness makes it much less of a destructive impact, and viewing it, it's not a catastrophe, it's manageable. And even though it has been a huge shift, my daughter's lost friends, and there's been really unpleasant things said from an adult that's just has no understanding of autism and is quite ignorant to the ignorant to her impact, but also ignorant to how autism plays out for people. Which is what makes it kind of so out of control, because I can't reason with her, I can't get her to tap into any compassion, because she's coming from a place of fear, and as fear does, it's clouding her judgment. So it became about the only thing I could do was manage my reaction to it and try and support my daughter. Now, if I'd gone into the fear and the hurt and the anger, I wouldn't be in a place to be able to support my daughter. So I had to use the techniques that I've learned to just take that step back and just be in the moment as much as I could. So I've used the rain, I've listened to it, I've watched it, I've spent more time listening to inspirational talks, I've done some researching on feminine energy, because it's given me a focus, it's helped me have more understanding of my emotional responses and some of the issues that are involved with the situation. I've spent more time meditating. I'm out here in nature today with my daughter, and she's been more open to suggestions of giving herself something to do because she's not able to spend that time with her friends. Because I've been more settled, I've been able to implement suggestions in a different way, rather than coming from a place of fear of, well, you've got to do this because if you don't, you'll spiral. So it's been quite a powerful experience that, on reflection, it's probably been building for a while, but it came to a head quite quickly, and it's a complete cut-off. There's no going back from this. There's no mending that friendship circle. And again, I could worry about the impact that would have on my daughter. Is she going to trust people in the same way again? White feather floating behind me. I could worry about, what if I'm avoiding doing anything else because there's more fear that there might be more repercussions. But if I go into those fears, the only thing it's going to achieve is I will suffer, and it will be parts of my personality that I believe are connected to dysfunctional friendships and shame and all sorts of things, which are only things I recognise because I know that those patterns are there, and it's a belief I've had about that's the person I think I am. Whereas it's given me an opportunity to recognise over this weekend that's a role I've taken on as a result from traumatic experiences, childhood conditioning from an adult. Having awareness that those are patterns and beliefs gives me breathing space from not being caught up in the really strong emotions of feeling guilt, shame. I'm feeling so much hurt for my daughter and so much anger about the situation. It kind of feels like that situation is happening somewhere over there, and I'm able to be kind of over here looking on it rather than being in it. I've also spent some time doing some EMDR over this weekend, going back to a situation that happened a very long time ago, which is kind of being entangled in situations that play out now because it comes up, because I hadn't been able to let go of some of the emotion and energy that occurred at the time. So all in all, it's been quite a gift. And this started on Thursday, went into Friday, and today's Monday, so it's my daughter shouting at me. She needs to go home and charge her phone. So on that note, I'm going to draw this to a close. And if you would like more information about the kind of techniques that I've learned and can show you, whether that's the mindfulness, whether it's the managing anxiety, whether it's a collection of all the techniques that help me in these life situations and help me on a day-to-day basis, help me be out in nature and find a calm spot even when my daughter is right next to me listening to music, because she doesn't like the silence, whereas I love the silence. So we have a whole duality there, but learning to be with that and still be able to stay in a peaceful inner place. If that's what you would like to learn more of, you can follow me on Facebook, Rachel Hickson Wellbeing, drop me a message, also on Instagram, and there will be more videos to come with the kind of things I offer. So if you like this video, subscribe. If you want to know more, drop me a message. Okay, take care. Bye bye.